Moving on to the XAUUSD, we were expecting a bullish momentum on the XAUUSD yesterday, and to buttress that, we were looking forward to a breakout of $1,830 key level here. So we were looking for something like this, a breakout and retest of structure to take advantage of a trend continuation to the upside. However, that did not happen as price broke down that bullish trend line. So for me, I want to go down, I want to go up to the daily time frame to see what is happening, if my trend line is appropriately placed or not. If we look at this, I think it not capture this, not capture this. I'll suggest that we move it down a little bit so that it can capture majority of it. Okay. And now we have the same scenario we're talking about earlier, about price being around the trend line area, as that area is more or less a very sensitive area, as a breakdown could happen, shaking us out of the trade, a retest of structure to push price further down. However, for me, considering the long-term bullish momentum on this pair, if you look at what's happening on the daily time frame, I still think price is still going to the upside. When that is going to happen is what we don't know. The only way we can decipher or get into the picture of that bullish momentum is just for us to look at what pattern is giving us, what price action is giving us from this point. So what I'll be suggesting here is this: let's wait for price to break above our $1,830 key level, which still holds. I want to see price break above that key level, a retest into the structure. Then we look for patterns on lower time frame that supports a trend continuation to the upside. So my bias on the gold still remains bullish. I want to see that breakout of that key level so importantly that I will not be able to take any trade unless I see that happen. So our take profit target still remain at $1,870 on the gold. So this is what my expectations are. And now, if we look closely into what has been happening since the beginning of the month, we can connect the series of lower highs, lower highs, to also be our guide. If you could look left, we can see that price has respected this area for some time. Sorry, I think this is most appropriate. The recent one here is most appropriate to use. So we have a recent bearish trend line here. If we look left, we can see how that has been holding for some time. Then we saw the breakout of the trend line, giving us a clue into the tendency of bullish potential on this one. Then we saw the breakdown of that trend line. We saw price respecting that trend line again, and then we saw another breakout of the trend line at this point. So one thing we want to be looking out for, if we see a breakout of this trend line, we already see one, then a retest into this area, we look for a reversal pattern here, then we can take advantage of this bullish momentum from that area. That is breakout, retest, then boom to the upside. And then if we have a retest into that key level at $1,830, then we could add one more position to this trade. So this is the scenario we are having here on the gold. That's our expectation on the gold at the moment. And to buttress this, we have this trend line to be our guide, as we don't want to see price, we don't want to buy anything right below this bearish trend line. So we have a scenario here that could happen. That is, we could have an entry point around this area. Here we can see my dotted purple line at 1,820. That is, if we see price come back to retest that bearish trend line, then we see reversal patterns on lower time frame. We could take advantage of a move from that area. Then as well, with the take profit target still remaining at $1,870 around that area from this point, and with the stop loss right below the previous low here. So we could have this scenario happening. But mind you, we don't want to buy anything right below this bearish trend line. You might want to save this. You might want to screenshot my page so that you can use this as a reference point when you want to make your individual decision. Okay, any questions? Good morning. Dalbu, good morning to you. You said please help. Help for what, please? Tricks, thanks. Okay, you're welcome. 319 help. All right. So we're already running out of time already, and it's 12 o'clock here. I think a minute to 12. That will not be enough for us to take one more pair. So let's just quickly run through, do a recap of what we talked about today. So the